What's up guys, JPZ here, and welcome to a series called JPZ Makes It Easy, where I walk you through each step of becoming a solid Siege player. In this video, I'll be helping you find your initial sensitivity, whether or not you're new to shooters or transitioning from another game. I'll also be showing you how to implement those settings into your daily practice. If you enjoyed this content and would like to see more like it, hit that subscribe button so you can see when my videos go live. I also stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 9 p.m. on twitch.tv/JPZ. First, let's go over how sensitivity functions, understand the basics. So, if you go to your options, look at your controls, these three settings are how you determine your sensitivity. Quick note here, I forgot to mention, my 56 is actually equal to 5.6. It's changed via a modifier in a configuration file. The default modifier is 0.02, which would make it a 1 to 100 scale that you see by default. I changed it to a 0.002, which would change it from a 1 to 10 scale. So it becomes more granular and allows you to have more control over your sensitivity at lower ranges. In order to change your modifier, if you are interested in doing something like that, I will show you on the screen. I'm in my documents folder. If you're in Windows, this is Windows 10. Go over to my games, Rainbow Six Siege, and find your game file. I have 3 separate accounts. So my oldest would be here. So this would be my main account. Go into your game settings.ini. So bring up a notepad that looks really rough. You scroll down, there'll be a section called input. And here, a little ways down, you'll find mouse sensitivity multiplier unit. There's also an X factor aiming, but don't they look similar? This is the one you need to change. Mouse sensitivity multiplier unit. Mouse sensitivity horizontal and vertical is your hipfire sensitivity. So while you're not scoped up, just your look sense. You can tell I'm basically overshooting my target every time if I'm looking between those two X's. So my sensitivity is too high. That takes care of hipfire, and this, the next setting, which is aim down sight or ADS. This number dictates that. Now that is when you scope up. That's both your ACOG or your hollow or your iron sights. So I usually pick sledge a lot when I'm doing T-hunts or sensitivity training because I have a hollow and the ACOG. And those are the two I use the most. What I do when I'm attempting to hone in my sensitivity, this was exactly what I did the first time that I came into the game as I was in house. I'm like, all right, how am I going to become as accurate as possible? Here's what I did. So in order, I'm going to show an actual live representation of what I did for this. These are my current settings. I'll put this, let's put this something, this is default at 50. I said before, I already know my sensitivity settings. So this is going to be too accurate. So what I'll do is I'll go from X to X. And I'll do this on both scopes. So now this is too much. So when I go from one to another, I'm overshooting. Let's say I want to, all right, 50 is not too far away from what I typically use. Some from others it might be. So I'll say, hey, let's go 2 ticks more and then see how close I got. Still overshooting. So let's go even lower. That's a little closer, but I'm still overshooting on the right. Oh. Good down to 45. Now I'm used to it, so now I'm overcompensating, but that feels more in the line of what I'm trying to do. Now, I would do the same thing with this and make sure that feels okay, and that does. So that is my typical idea. Now, obviously with a new sensitivity, there's always, this is a sensitivity I changed today, so I'm still getting used to it, and I'm still have to do a lot of practice, which would be covered later on in the section. But that's my basics on how I test my sensitivity. In this part, I'll be showing how to adjust and measure your sensitivity. Especially if you're coming from another game, this can be really helpful. In another game, if you know is a sensitivity that you really like, but you're not sure what it is in Siege, measuring your sensitivity can be something that's really beneficial to do. If you stand in the doorway, typically doorways are pretty straight and you line yourself up and you spin around in a circle and line yourself up with a doorway, that's typically a 180. You can do the same thing with scoped up. I can't even get there with my mouse pad. I need to pick up and keep going. But if you had a big enough surface, or if you got rid of your mouse pad and able to do that, that's something that you can use. What I would do here, and I'll have the overlay of the camera showing my mouse movements. So here I would start by doing a hipfire, 180. As you stand in the doorway, this will give you a nice 180 position. And with a 1x. And you can see on the camera I have this little piece of tape that I have previously, because I've already calculated pretty much where this was and placed this down. So now you can see if I was to do this from another game, I could do a similar thing with a doorway and calculate a 180 with a 1x scope. Now the ACOG, if you notice, has so much zoom that if I try and do a 180, I run out of mouse pad before I can do it. So it's not very good calculation. If you want to do, you can pick up the mouse pad and do it separately on your desk if you have a big enough desk. But I typically recommend doing it either with the hipfire or the 1x, specifically that both of those get some measurements for that. That way you have some accuracy there. The last and most important part of honing your aim is practice. For me, it's Terrace Hunt. Some others use third-party programs such as Aim Booster or Aim Hero, or other games such as Counter-Strike to practice their aim. But for me, Terrace Hunt, Lone Wolf, normal. And here, the focus is getting as many headshots as possible, quickly traversing the map, not focusing on winning, but focusing on snapping to targets and being accurate. And I always select Sledge here as my, at least starting off, so I have an ACOG as well as a holographic at my disposal.
Eliminate all hostiles.
So I typically start from one side. Sledge is a pretty good operator because if they barricade any doors or FC4, you can get through them quickly. For example, here. Again, here I'm focusing on headshots. A little bit if they have an issue with reloading too often, but if you walk into a room with a lot of people, it can be a good thing to have here. You will sometimes get flashed. They are very accurate with their flashbangs. Can get a little frustrated, but something to deal with. I wasn't supposed to kill the person, it's just supposed to open the door, but you know, sometimes it happens. I usually go level to level. And for example, oh, got both in one shot accidentally. I was supposed to, I'm gonna show something there, but we'll find another person. Person, if I headshot someone, if I miss, sometimes I will rotate around and do a 360, just kind of reset the engagement. Couple people above me. Still a little bit slow on my turns because of my new sensitivity, so snappy as possible. One good thing about this MG11 is it's low damage per bullet, so it allows you to reset the engagement and get another attempt on that same mob. Only 3 left. Also, if there's multiple people in a group, if I shoot one, I'll usually move to the other and then move back. So again, it's like another snap. Or left somewhere. Oh, there is one thing about bank map. If you do happen to do terrace hunt on it, sometimes the people get stuck on stairs. Not sure if it's the case here. takes too long, end the mission, go to the next one, because it's not about winning. It's about transitioning, getting as many repetitions as possible. Hope this video helped you. If you have any questions, please leave a comment and I'll be able to answer it for you, or hit me up on one of my various social medias in the description down below.